Chapter 10, Section 1. We will begin with a quick little overview of ancient Greece. So here we go.
Art, philosophy, democracy, and heroes. These are just a few achievements of the legendary civilization known as ancient Greece. Ancient Greece was born on the shores of the Aegean Sea about 4,000 years ago. In over a millennium, it expanded to lands as far west as Spain and as far east as India. Throughout this age of empire, the ancient Greeks made political, militaristic, and cultural achievements that resonated long after their empire fell. Part of the ancient Greeks' legacy involved politics, one of which was the political system of Greece itself. Unlike many nations that were under unified rule, Greece was a collection of over 1,500 territories that acted as sovereign nations. Called city-states, these territories had their own rulers and sometimes fought each other. Another political development was the institution of the first large-scale democracy. Developed in the city-state of Athens, democratic rule was a way to give the Greek people representation and political power. The Greeks also earned a strong reputation for their military. The military helped expand the Greek Empire by establishing colonies overseas, and it protected Greece itself from foreign invaders like the Persian Empire. When such a threat occurred, city-states united to defend their homeland. Many Greeks, particularly in Sparta, took immense pride in their military and regarded their soldiers as heroes. Their heroism was often turned into legend thanks to literary works like the Iliad. War heroes also inspired the creation of the Olympics, which celebrated physical competition. Of all aspects of ancient Greek civilization, their cultural contributions left a considerable mark on the Western world. Particularly noteworthy were the ancient Greeks' art and architecture. They created incredible sculptural works, such as standing figures and reliefs. Plus, they developed 3 types of columns and incorporated them into structures like the Parthenon. This artistry was imitated by other civilizations and spread throughout the globe for thousands of years. How the Greeks interpreted the world was also reflected in other cultures. Greek religion, which was comprised of many anthropomorphic deities, helped shape the spiritual beliefs of the Etruscans and later the ancient Romans. Greek philosophy, which explored matters of reason, ethics, and natural law, influenced later civilizations' achievements in politics and science. Greek language made quite an impact as well. Ancient Greek, at about 3,400 years old, provided the basis of many modern languages. The English language alone has thousands of words with Greek roots. Ancient Greece's artistry, regard for heroes, and democratic rule left a considerable impression on world history. With contributions that lasted for millennia, the civilization of ancient Greece is nothing short of legendary.
All right, so let's begin by taking a look at the geography of Greece. If you were to look at Greece, it is very mountainous. It's very mountainous, surrounded by the sea. And so you have communities in Greece that are very much separated from each other. They might have the same language, they might have the same customs, but they weren't necessarily united together. Each community was kind of its own, and no one community had power over another. People were very loyal to their city state, which is their community. It's their city and the area surrounding it. What a Greek city-state was called was a polis. The polis was the political and geographic center of Greek life. Originally, the polis was made up of a village and the fields around an acropolis. An acropolis was an ancient Greek fortified hill. And at the top of the acropolis would be a temple for whatever the local god was of that polis or of that city state. At the bottom of the hill was a marketplace or an agora, which is an ancient Greek marketplace. People began to settle near the agora. Artisans, traders, members of the upper class, they would settle near this agora, which was near the Acropolis. By 700 BC, this area is very densely settled, and it becomes kind of the inner part of the polis is a city now. And so this is the city-state that's formed. It's this polis and all the surrounding area. So the city-state's now formed by the settlement near that agora and then the farmland. Each city-state had its own government and its own laws. Your average city-state had between 5,000 to 10,000 citizens. Now, to be a citizen, these were native-born men. No women, no children, no slaves, no workers who were born outside of Greece. Okay? So to be a citizen, you had to be a native-born man. And as a citizen, you had special privileges. As a citizen, you could vote in elections in that city-state or that polis. You could own property. You could hold public office. You could speak for yourself in court. But as a citizen, you also had responsibilities. One of your responsibilities was you needed to take part in the government. And you also needed to defend the polis in times of attack. The Greeks put the good of the polis above everything else. It gave them a sense of belonging. Civic honor and personal honor, those were the same thing. You couldn't have personal honor without having civic honor. The two greatest polises or city-states in ancient Greece are going to be Sparta, which was known for having the strongest army in Greece, and Athens, which was the strongest navy in Greece. And they're both going to develop very different governments in very different ways of life.